May 1st, we will be honoring Marie Leopard, John Lasarchek, Ruby and Therbine Simmons, and the Preserve the Shady Rest Committee. And we would welcome anyone who wants to join us. I know many people have done so already. That's Friday, May 1st. It's always a great event, and the proceeds, I should say, anything that we make that goes beyond covering the cost goes to support these folks' noteworthy causes. So please come out. I know you'll have a lot of fun. On the 16th of May, we're looking to have our first arts and craft show on the green. We're struggling a little with it. You know, it's not easy getting folks who want to come out and participate in arts and crafts, but we still have it on our calendar. If anyone would like to participate in the arts and crafts event on May 16th on the Allen Augustine, in the Allen Augustine Park, please come forward, and to make it simple, just call the manager's office and they'll put you in touch with the right people. So that's good. Memorial Day, hard to believe, it's almost here again, and we will be having our 4th annual Memorial Day concert, which we jointly organized with the citizens of Fanwood. Mayor Morrow and I initiated that concert series 4 years ago, and it's hard to believe it stuck, and it's a fabulous concert. We get well over 750, 800 people showing up. It's a real patriotic theme to say we remember those who served our nation, and as importantly, those who paid the ultimate sacrifice in service to the nation. And then on Monday, of course, a 50-year-old plus tradition. Someone may want to challenge me on that, but I'm told it goes back that far, if not longer, will be the Memorial Day Parade that kicks off here in Scotch Plains. We've got a lot of new things happening this year. I'll share with you one. We have floats. So we have a lot of active participants there. I believe VOTEC is one, the St. Bartholomew's is another, and there are a couple of other folks that are building floats themed to our World War II theme. So look, I don't have to say anymore. This is a lot of fun. Come on out. Memorial Day parade and concert. You'll hear more going forward. Okay, moving right along. New business consent agenda. Do I have a motion to move the consent agenda?
Mayor, I'd like to move the new business consent agenda, items number 2015-081 through items number 2015-094.
Is there a second?
Second.
Right, any questions on that from my colleagues? Hearing none, it's 9:20. Please call the roll, Ms. Lucina.
Mrs. Checchio?
Aye.
Mr. Del Sordi?
Aye.
Mrs. Giovanella?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mayor Glover?
Aye. Next item up on the list is a bill list. May I have a motion on our bill list, please?
Mayor, I'd like to move the bill list in the amount of $10,631,094.93.
Is there a second?
Second.
Anybody have a question on the bill list, please? Hearing none. Ms. Lucina, can we call the roll on the bill list?
Mrs. Checchio?
Aye.
Mr. Del Sordi?
Aye.
Mrs. Giovanella?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mayor Glover?
Aye. May I have a motion on a resolution 2015-095? Deputy Mayor?
I'd like to move resolution 2015-095, resolution authorizing an application for enrollment of Scotch Plains Police Department in the United States Department of Defense, DoD 1033 program.
Okay. Before we take a vote on that, we should have a second. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Real quickly, Mr. Marabella?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this is a United States Department of Defense grant that they donate to townships that are interested, surplus vehicles. We have several vehicles parked in the back, typically used for emergency or significant emergencies, but this allows us to solicit those kinds of donations from the U.S. government.
Yeah, I think we've picked up a couple of their former military vehicles,
Yes, that's
which
right.
we will be using in our parade. So that's one of the benefits of this. Moving right along, Resolution 2015-09. Oh, excuse me. Can we have a roll call on the 095?
So
We had a motion. We had a second. These are excess old military vehicles, Humvees, Jeeps,
I
tanks.
I love it. Not so energy efficient, but fabulous. I just do want to say though, so we're at if we purchase the vehicles that are requested, we are at 38. On Sunday, I was out for a walk and I was counting what's in the parking lot. So at that time on a Sunday afternoon, there were about 20 parking spots taken. You know, in all seriousness, since we talk often about parking and parking in the downtown, if there are vehicles that are literally of no use to us, can we, even if we sell them for scrap metal, can we get rid of them to free up employee park, so we have employee parking and we free up some spots in the downtown? I don't understand why we need, I understand why we need new vehicles, but why we need so many vehicles is escaping me.
Yeah. I'm meeting with the chief on Monday, actually, to go vehicle by vehicle inventory with him. The Department of Defense vehicles typically are the ones parked back out of our lot.
By the fire?
By the fire department, yes. And some of his vehicles are parked behind the building, not taking up spots. That being said, it is an issue, and I'll be working with the chief to kind
We
of get
won't
my
have the
handle.
4th Battalion out there, trust us. But we will cream pick some of the better vehicles, right?
Well, I want to understand, the current fleet that the police department has and whether, how necessary some of those are. We just did auction off one of those vehicles. There could be others that could fall into that category too.
But generally, these vehicles are not, they might be, but the ones we've
You're speaking about
secured,
these,
No,
you're talking
it's
we're
about.
apples and
not-
oranges, we're not picking up these vehicles
I
to put
fully
on the street.
understand. No, it was an
Other than the
opportunity to
tank.
talk about the fact that we are committing parking resources, and that's just the one thought that I
Right.
have. Anything we can get for free is a good thing,
Right.
but maybe it'll allow us to get rid of
This
some
is on
things
the
we're not
unpaved
using.
lot by the firehouse.
So we need a roll call then, I guess.
Okay,
right?
please call the roll.
Mrs. Checchio?
Aye.
Mr. Del Sordi?
Aye.
Mrs. Giovanella?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mayor Glover?
I can have a motion on 215-096, please.
Mayor, I'd like to move Resolution 2015-096, resolution appointing James Checchio as a Class 4 member to the Planning Board.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any comments? Hearing none, can you please call the roll, Ms. Lucina?
Mrs. Checchio?
Aye.
Mr. Del
Aye.
Sordi? Mrs. Giovanella?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mayor Glover?
Aye. Resolution 2015-097, please.
Mayor, I'd like to move Resolution 2015-097, resolution authorizing a change order exceeding 20% for the loading and transporting of fall leaves to Reliable Wood Products, LLC of Jersey City, New Jersey.
Is there a second?
Second.
Before we go further, Mr. Marabella, maybe some explanation here?
For the
This is 097, the 20% for loading.
I can do that one, Mayor.
Okay, you can do that, one of you.
This is a situation apparently last fall, the let's just say that more leaves were delivered than were anticipated, as a result of which the estimated amount in the contract was greatly exceeded, and as a result of which we have to pay for the leaves. It's a unit price contract, and that's the number of leaves, or the quantity of leaves that were loaded, carted, and disposed of. So it was required that the contract amount be increased.
Are there any questions on this? Hearing none, can we have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Checchio?
Aye.
Mr. Del Sordi?
Aye.
Mrs. Giovanella?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mayor Glover?
Aye. Next up, we have an ordinance. Ms. Lucina, can you read the ordinance by title, please?
An ordinance?
This is the first, I believe, reading of this?
Correct. Introduction.
Thank you, it's introduction.
Ordinance establishing salaries and wages for deputy fire chief and technical assistant.
Okay, Deputy Mayor?
Mayor, I move that the public hearing on this ordinance be opened. Somebody's,
What, can you read it? Okay, go ahead. No,
This is the first reading.
this is the first reading.
Oh, God,
Over
I'm
here.
sorry,
Take your
guys.
time. It's late, and we were,
I would like to move that this ordinance be adopted on first reading and be advertised according to law on Scotch Plains Times, and that
You have the
copies
date?
be available in the clerk's office and posted on the bulletin board. The second and final public hearing of the same to be held on
May 19th.
May 19th at 7 o'clock PM in the municipal building, Park Avenue, Scotch Plains.
thank you. Is there a second on this
Second.
motion? Thank you. Any questions?
So, technical assistant, is this the same thing we discussed last week in the conference meeting?
This is a position that was left off our mins and maxes for different positions. I guess the last time the council voted to establish those minimums and maximum salaries, it's in the construction area. And there's a position called technical assistant that we have somebody that's been studying towards getting qualifications for that.
This
And
isn't
it
the-
wasn't included in our salary ordinances that established it.
Because we had a similar conversation last week at the, not 2 weeks ago at the conference meeting about another position.
Yeah, that's not included in
Okay,
this.
thank
That
you, I'm
had been
sorry.
in
Thank you so
works.
much for amending that. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
Any other
Good.
questions on this?
Nope.
Hearing none, we've had a motion, we've had it seconded, we've had some discussion. Ms. Lucina, can we have a vote, please?
Mrs. Checchio?
Aye.
Mr. Del Sorte?
Aye.
Mrs. Gillenella?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mayor Glover?
Aye. Ms. Lucina, once again, ordinance 2015-077, could you, this is a first, is this a first reading?
Yes.
Yes, again, would you read the ordinance by title, please?
An ordinance amending the zoning ordinances of the Township of Scotch Plains by rezoning premises commonly known as 1311 Terrell Road, Scotch Plains, New Jersey.
Deputy Mayor?
Mayor, I'd like to move ordinance 2015-007, ordinance amending the zoning ordinance of the Township of Scotch Plains, rezoning premises commonly known as 1311 Terrell Road, Scotch Plains, New Jersey.
Thank you. Is there a second, please?
Second.
Or is there any discussion about this? Hearing none, and I can vote on this, right?
Yes.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, Bonnie.
Please?
I'm a mess
Can we,
tonight.
don't worry.
No,
We're
Mayor,
moving,
I read
what did
the
you
wrong
read?
thing.
You read it wrong again?
I,
What is wrong
No,
with
that's
you?
it's all right. She just included the title and it's
No,
fine.
that's okay, you're good.
okay.
All right, so anyway, we have a motion, we have a second, we've had no discussion on it. We've got a bet to get out of here, 9:30. Go, Ms. Lucina.
Mrs. Checchio?
Aye.
Mr. Del Sorte?
Aye.
Mrs.
That's
Gillenella?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mayor Glover?
Aye. Again, first and reading on the following ordinance, Ms. Lucina, 2015-008.
Bond ordinance to authorize the making of various public improvements and the acquisition of new, additional, or replacement equipment and machinery, new communication and signal systems equipment, new information technology equipment, and a new fire engine and new automotive vehicles, including original apparatus and equipment in, by, and for the Township of Scotch Plains in the County of Union, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $3,441,100 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriations, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes and anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
Okay.
Mayor, I'd like to move that this ordinance be adopted on first reading and be advertised according to law in the Scotch Plains Times, and that copies be available in the clerk's office and posted on the bulletin board. The second and final reading and public hearing to be held on May 16th,
No, actually, this one will be May 5th at our conference meeting.
on May 5th at 7 o'clock PM in the municipal building, Park Avenue, Scotch Plains.
Thank you very much. Is there a
Second.
second on this?
Second.
I think we heard a little about this before, Mr. Marabella, as you went through your budget presentation. You shared with us a little your capital plans. So
Yes.
is there any further conversation you'd like to have?
No, not unless the mayor or council have any specific questions. This is something that, from a capital standpoint, was brought together. The individual departments talked about their needs and wants during their budget hearings with all of you, and I've been compiling that information, making some changes, but I feel like it's a good capital plan. I feel like since there was no capital plan last year, we're kind of
Right.
making up a little bit. And then addressing some of the needs in infrastructure and technology and public safety equipment recreational areas. It's a good capital plan. I urge its adoption.
Thank you very much and for your presentation of that. Is there any comments, please?
Just one quick question. Why would we adopt at a conference meeting rather than a business meeting? Just that's the requisite time frame is between introduction and
there's
business
enough
has transpired
time.
by then?
Councilman, there is enough time. I'm just anxious to get going
Right.
on some of the projects. So there's no real, other than, so part of me says during our conference meetings, we should just stick to,
Right.
but something like this, I thought, rather than wait the 2 weeks, I'd rather start going on some of this stuff. But
No, that's fine.
We got to get that
that's
air
really the
conditioning.
only reason. There's no other reason other than that.
Okay, that's good. I want to thank you because contrary to some of the opinions we get here that, everyone asks and everyone gets, that's not the case. I mean, I know you were pretty much very thoughtful. I won't say you were a hawk in cutting things, but they had to, you looked for justification, and this council, I think, supported what the end of, the day brought. So thank you on that. We've had a motion, we've had a second, we've had some discussion. Can I please have a roll call?
Mrs. Checchio?
Aye.
Mr. Del Sorte?
Aye.
Mrs. Giovanella?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mayor Glover?
Aye. The next item on our agenda is public comment, if somebody would like to come forward. Seeing no, would you like to come forward, sir? Please state your name and address, that's all we ask.
Al Sanchez, 320 Sycamore Avenue. Thank you for the opportunity to address the council, Mr. Mayor. On Sycamore Avenue and Mountain Avenue, we used to have a sign that said children at play or 25 miles an hour slow zone, but we had Belgian blocks put in the street was repaved, and the sign came down, but it never went back up. The extra catch basins were placed in, thank you very much, but they need to be vacuumed, or leaves are starting to clog up and flooding a little bit when it rains. Thank you
Before
very
you go
much.
further, Mr. Sanchez,
Yeah.
we'll address that, please.
Yeah, Mr. Sanchez, what exactly is it? Sycamore, and is there a cross street there, or is it
Yes,
a
it's,
specific address for that?
Right off of Mountain. There's two sides of Sycamore, one on the other side of Front Street, but we're between Mountain. There's a little cul-de-sac, a turnaround at the end of the street.
Okay. Yeah, I can talk to Acting Director Timko and get someone to address that for you.
All right, thank you for the
Certainly, we
opportunity.
can get that sign put back.
Yeah.
That would be good.
No, we'll get it done.
Yes.
I mean, Mr. Brower, we'll get it done.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sanchez, for coming out this evening and staying with us through our brief interruption.
Well, that's okay, that's how it gets done. Thank you.
That's how it gets done. Well, you're very kind.
Thanks.
Next item up is if anyone on the council has any further comments.
I do, Mayor. I forgot, actually, I'm sorry. One of my reports of committees for the, in the earlier part is the Environmental Committee. And I just did want to, I know that the mayor, the manager mentioned it earlier in his presentation that one of the issues that has come to us through a resident and through Councilwoman Checchio's tour of Brookside Park is that there is an environmental, there is a nature trail there that is desperately in need of improvement. And when committee member Eileen Villar and I attended training, unfortunately the day of the Easter egg hunt, there was a grant opportunity of which we are certainly eligible that specifically targets nature trails. I'm mentioning that this evening first to let you know that Mr. Timko has really been unbelievable. He met with me on a Saturday morning to walk that trail and really give some very direct insight. I've already shared this with you, but I thought I would share this with the mayor and the council members. I also wanted to let you know that in reviewing that grant with our engineering firm, Mr. Timko did certainly feel that not only is it the right thing to involve members of the community, but it would strengthen our grant application. So as you know, Mr. Manager, I reached out to our high school principal with the hope that maybe there are some students from Scotch Plains Fanwood High School who have an interest in the environment or in nature that can help us, or even if any of us know Eagle Scouts, looking for a project, or Girl Scouts going for their Gold Award. This, essentially what we're looking for from the community there is some of the research into some of the whether it's some of the species that are there. We've also had some conversation about planting a butterfly garden, on that property. Very, it's not costly, but really adds a lot of charm to the area. And as Councilwoman Checchio certainly knows, it has the potential to really be just another gem in Scotch Plains. So if there are members of the community who have an interest, whether it's through a civic organization or through an individual passion for nature, or for the research of nature, please make sure that you're reaching out to us. You can definitely send me an email, and we would like to involve you in this process.
Thank you. Any other comments, council comments?
I have one item.
Please.
Mr. Mirabella, I know we've just started, I believe the DPW has on the spring leaf and branch pickup, and so maybe it's a little bit premature for an update on that. But it was just came to my mind that we talked a lot about communication tonight. It might be a good reminder to folks to get that stuff out there now, and in particular remind folks that there's really only one pass on this one, and hopefully we don't have too many instances of streets getting cleaned up and then clogged up again.
Right, no, thank you, Councilman. I'm glad you brought that up. It certainly is important for residents to get that out. I was out cleaning, well, I wasn't really cleaning too much, but my own front yard, and I know it's the time when people are doing their spring cleaning. They call, leaf, branch, and gumball pickup. I still think that's, a strange term, but I'm getting used to it. And I do hope people will get that stuff out there. The Public Works Messenger went out and outlines exactly, the procedure for that and what's going on, but thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, and that actually reminds me of the other main point I wanted to make on this one. I think that going forward and in future years, one of my frustrations, and I know some other people's frustrations, is that, and it's just the nature of the timing, that messenger goes out, at least this year it went out and hit kind of right before the pickup started, and one of the important messages in there was, please don't put the stuff in the street until a week before. And there's certainly a lot of contractors in town who they just come and do their spring cleanups for folks, and in some cases they do it a month and a half before, and then you're clogging up the streets. And so part of it is informing the residents, but I would hope and think that maybe we could consider some sort of enforcement with, particularly with contractors who are coming out and, hey, if there's a monetary penalty, they'll get the message real quick, and there's no reason they can't be looking at a town website or Facebook and know where that information is and put it out at the appropriate time.
I appreciate your comment, and I didn't like it going out so late myself, and part of it had to do, we were waiting for some bids to come back and some quotes to come back so we could put some information. And even as it was, we put an estimated charge for a bulky waste pickup that the township can put out some of the things they're trying to get rid of. So I waited to the last minute. Maybe it was a little bit too long. I think we learned maybe we'll start the process a little bit earlier to get that information and get it out ahead of time.
And I think
that's a very good point.
That speaks to things that I think everybody's in agreement on this council, which is ultimately, reorganize and streamline those communications, and that way your DPW related information isn't stuck being in just one communication.
You're right. Yeah, and I think a better website and all the rest of the stuff we talked to will maybe contribute to that, better information. But thank you, I agree with you.
Thank you.
Thank you for those comments. They are helpful. With that, Mr. Manager, someday we'll find out where these filters are in this room, and we'll paint the ceiling.
It's funny you say
I don't want to paint the ceiling.
Councilwoman Checchio just went like this.
I don't want to paint the ceiling until we change the filters. But you know what? This is a no-brainer. Okay. But anyway, I'm not going to belabor this. Listen, I got a phone number here, folks, for any of you citizens who want to call. It is, today's date is April 21st, 2015. It's about 9:40 in the evening. Our number here at Town Hall is 908-322-2076. The number again in New Jersey is 908-322-2076. We'd love you to give us a call, update us on the hockey game or baseball game, and ask any questions that you might have. We'll keep this open for just a couple of minutes. So please, 908-322-2076. We may have lost our audience at the break. Not hearing anybody ring that phone. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We've got a wrap. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor? Aye, aye. Everyone have a wonderful evening.
So why have